Welcome to Biztech's C-Suite Conversation Show. Our guest for today is Bharat Bedi. He's the Global Head of Strategic Alliances at SolarWinds. SolarWinds was founded in 1999 and is listed on the New York Stock Exchange and is a leading provider of IT management software. Now, to tell us more about SolarWinds and what it does, welcome to the show, Bharat.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Now, Bharat, for a start, give us an overview of SolarWinds and its history.
Well, we were founded in 1999, like you said, about 23 years old as a company. Most of our customers know SolarWinds as that network monitoring company. We've become very famous in that space. And when I actually go and meet with the CIOs globally, they talk to us how they've used SolarWinds network monitoring tool. So we kind of stamped over there. But we have, over the years, transitioned to be a company that now provides a technology platform that helps customers observe their entire IT environment end-to-end, analyze all the data that comes from this environment, and use that data to remediate issues so we can create a visualization for not just IT operation professionals, but also for the C-suite, for them to understand what is the health and the status of their complete end-to-end business and IT. So from just a network monitoring company, today, we have a technology that can observe, automate and analyze, remediate issues, and do visualization for the end customers. This actually also allows us to accelerate a lot of companies' business transformation, regardless of their type, their size, or complexities.
Now, Bharat, I can't have an interview with you without asking you about the challenges that you've had at SolarWinds with regard to the Sunburst Hack. Have you drawn a line in the sand in terms of putting that behind you as a company?
Well, we have, and I knew this question would come, and this question comes a lot. It used to come quite a lot, when Sunburst was pretty new. We think that we have put that behind us now, but because it has come out, I would not want to dodge it. Essentially, what SolarWinds did as a company when the attack happened, that we, under the leadership of Sudhakar Ramakrishna, our CEO, we led with some guided principles, and we were told that let's lead with transparency. It was very important for us to tell our end customers and our partner community that we were not the cause of that Sunburst attack, but we were the victim of it. And the whole point was that now that the attack has happened, what is it that we do about that now? And we were very clearly told that we will lead with transparency for our end customers and our partners. And actually, it allowed us the opportunity to build further more trust. So the couple of things that happened during that time was, how do we deal with that technically and security-wise now? And what steps do we take and investments do we make in our security environment? So we secured our internal environment. We secured and added more efforts on product development environment. We obviously increased our security budgets quite a bit, and we started putting more efforts on how we deliver the software to the end customer. And there are a lot of analyst reports that have been written around how did SolarWinds handle this. But outside of the technology and security piece, like I mentioned, it was the way and the tone with which we wanted to lead. So we actually called a lot of our customers and partners before they called us, led with transparency, and said, this is what has happened. Here's what we are doing about it. Here are the answers that we have to your questions. And more importantly, here are the answers that we don't have, but let's work on this together. A few years down the line, as you'd imagine, the federal business was the worst hit and had most questions on SolarWinds as a brand. In 2023, that's the strongest business that we have and is growing. Our renewal rates as a company are actually at the same level, in fact, even a bit higher than what we had pre-Sunburst attack. So I'd like to think that we have the trust from our customers back, and we did a decent job in getting that.
Bharat, that's a great story of how transparency can actually be profitable and really the right approach to how you treat your customers. But speaking of your customers, give us a sense, because your job is Global Head of Strategic Alliances. And obviously this involves partnerships, alliances across the world. Give us a sense of what you do and specifically your role in the Asia Pacific region.
Absolutely. So look, I've been a part of this talented team for over 4 years now in SolarWinds, and I'm based out of Singapore at this time. So as a part of strategic alliances, my job was to work with some key global system integrators and managed service providers across the globe and go and talk to them about how SolarWinds can help them accelerate the value that they bring to their end customers. So in sense of strategic alliances, I lead the GSI or global system integrators and managed service provider business. The managed service provider business is very interesting, especially for Asia Pacific market, because we see a lot of companies of different scales and sizes tend to outsource their IT environment, or we'd like to say they send their headaches to the local managed service providers and say, hey, manage this for us and help us in digital transformation, business transformation strategies. So it becomes very important for us to become sort of best friends with these managed service providers or system integrators and say, as you work with your end customers, here's how we can strengthen your efforts with the right technology and technology platforms. So that's what I do.
And Bharat, then could you give us a sense of some success stories perhaps you've had in terms of working with customers in the Asia Pacific region?
Absolutely. So without taking names, I can tell you that there is a managed service provider that we have worked with where they were coming up with a technology platform on the basis of which they went and proposed a time to value to an end customer who was facing a lot of challenges on fragmentation and complexities of technologies. Over the years, this end customer had bought a lot of monitoring and observability tools, invested money in cloud strategies, invested money in private cloud and on-prem setup. They had a couple of e-commerce platforms as well. And when you looked at their overall IT builds, the CIOs and CFOs did not have a very good relationship, as you'd imagine. They went and worked with this managed service provider and said, over the next 5 years, Mr. MSP, could you help us reduce the overall cost? As a managed service provider consolidated all these technologies, SolarWinds showed up and said, as you consolidate these technologies, we can come in and help you look at the entire end-to-end visibility of your IT environment, can observe this for you. And if there are any issues, we can help remediate it. And we can get started as soon as possible. So we managed to become a part of the platform for managed service provider, giving a great time to value to the end customer. Happy days for the managed service provider, because using our technology, they could create a good dollar value saving for the end customer. And the end customer was happier using as less tools as possible, creating a true consolidation.
Now, you've got a lot of competition in the space that you're in. It's everything from Cisco to the folks like ManageEngine. If I am a CIO, why should I choose you?
Well, there are many reasons for that. And I don't know how long are we going to have this interview for, but we can go 24 hours for that. But I'll give you a couple of bullets on this. The first thing is it's the 23 years of rich feature set that SolarWinds has built. We have grown organically as a company, and the technology has become really strong, in which we can cater to customers and companies which are just up and coming, small and medium business. But as you grow as a company, you don't want to be changing tools at that time. The way our technology is built and the way we commercially package it, we can scale as our customers grow. So like I said, we grew organically from the network monitoring space. And over the years, we have built from network to systems. And then we ended up buying a bunch of companies that fit really well into our overall strategy. So we can look at database and application management, and we have ITSM tools and so on. We see that at this stage, in order to come up with a complete observability, end customers end up investing in anything between 12 to 15 different vendors or tools and technologies. We think at this stage, SolarWinds can truly help them consolidate all this into a single vendor, giving them a full end-to-end complete observability. And while it makes a lot of sense to the technology folks because everything is integrated, somebody should go and speak with the procurement person who has to release 14 different POs versus one different PO, because it's not just technology consolidation, but vendor consolidation as well. So because we have technologies and products that cover everything end to end, customers tend to look at us more than some of our competitors. There's a commercial aspect to this as well, but the way we have created the product is it's a lot of good time to value for our end customers too. It's very easily built, very easy to use, and it does not take months and months to implement SolarWinds software, and that some of our customers really like.
So typically, what sort of savings are you looking at when you do the consolidations? Because that's the whole idea, it's cost savings. Easier to manage, cost savings as well, because you have, like you said, going from 14 to 1. And there's less
Absolutely.
integration issues, less complexity around managing those various applications as well.
Well, the cost savings completely depend on the end customer's IT environment and the complexity there is. If you enter a house with a lot of fragmentation and things all over the place, and when you want to clean it up, the cost savings obviously will look a lot more. So we have case studies internally in the company that we work with our customers, and we've seen cost savings anything between 10% to upwards of 60 to 70% as well.
Okay, that's very dramatic. And again, your key offering, your SolarWinds observability is really, and that's what you claim, helps customers accelerate digital transformation. Through your lens, how does digital transformation look like for your customers in 2023? Because we had huge strides made over COVID as companies retooled to take advantage of situation that was forced upon them. But then the landscape in 2023 is very different.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take a while to answer this question because digital transformation is a buzzword that we hear IT professionals talking about, CIOs talking about. We even see that in RFPs coming up these days. So, and I've seen personally that this digital transformation, the buzzword as you'd call it, has changed the definition over time. So let's take a while to define what we see, digital transformation is. Like I said, it's a broad term where back in the days, if the company had to come up with an e-commerce platform, they would call that as a part of the digital transformation strategy as well. So if you ask me as of today, the use of IT resources in order to enhance their digital capabilities that can achieve the following use cases can be considered as digital transformation. We think companies are trying to be on this journey to create better offerings and experience for their end clients. They're getting on this journey also to adopting next generation tools, not only to help consolidate their existing system, but bring better insights as well. We've seen another use case where companies are buying tools and technologies to add more intelligence to the existing system so they can make a lot more business informed decisions. And sometimes they're on this journey to make their operations more agile and for smarter business outcomes. Now, let's be clear, these aren't the only use cases, but the ones that we hear customers worrying about the most when they think about digital transformation. So our role in steering digital transformation comes from the challenges that digital transformation brings. So let's talk about the challenges for a second. The interesting part about adopting new technologies is that to achieve the use cases that I just mentioned essentially means adding more technology vendors, adding more technologies, rethinking systems and apps, and adding more system and apps. In some cases, refreshing existing hardware. Think about cloud strategies. Think about security vulnerabilities. And while the IT departments are at it, in the middle of all the circus, there are three huge challenges that our friends in IT have to deal with. One is you add technologies, and I mentioned this before, the IT environments continue to become a lot more complex than how they used to be, a lot more fragmented. You think about one web page and the technologies that are supporting one web page, the login page is resolving to something else, the customer data resolved somewhere else. So the environments are becoming a lot more complex with this digital transformation journey and a lot more fragmented and spread out. The second challenge that we see as a part of this digital transformation journey is the skill gap that we've seen in the IT workforce. We hear our colleagues talk about this all the time customers talk about it all the time, that there's a disruption in the IT market. There's new technology that has come in. Somebody has to implement this new technology. Somebody has to monitor this new technology in case there is an issue. And if there is an issue, then somebody needs to know every single part of different fragmented technologies to make sense out of it. But do we have enough workforce in IT that is certified on all these technologies or niche technologies as well? So we see a skills gap as well as digital transformation journeys get taken. And then there is an uninvited security vulnerability as well. So you know how they say that with great tech comes great challenges?
Yes.
Think about the IT leader who needs to be aware of their entire IT environment along with its dependencies. And God help you, if something goes slow or something goes down, which vendor are you going to call? And how many vendors will you call? So a consolidated approach to observe and monitor all the investments that a company makes around applications, hardware, database licenses, hypervisors, network firewalls, etc. That whole piece makes life much easier. It's a much smarter idea and might even allow your IT operations professionals to go home on time. So for SolarWinds, the whole move to observability, as you mentioned, that makes it possible for these IT teams to achieve much better visibility with fewer tools. So if I'm the IT operations professional, with SolarWinds-like tools, I can go and tell my leadership that, hey, for the next digital transformation strategy or journey that you're going to take, we are covered, and I'm confident to tell you that no matter which way do we go, whether it's cloud, on-prem, or what technologies do you undertake, we will be able to monitor, observe them, and correlate them. And if there are any alerts or events that come out of it, we are all set to remediate those issues. And also, Mr. CIO will be able to give you a visualization of the overall health as you undertake new technologies. So it's a bit of a snowball effect that you go under a digital transformation journey, you get new technologies, you get more fragmented, and then you look for tools that need to help you get out of the issues with the whole fragmentation.
Now, Bharat, we're in Q2 of 2023. What does the business outlook look like for SolarWinds for the rest of the year?
Well, as a company, we are growing. I cannot give you specific numbers as a part of this interview, but as a company, we are looking at putting a good amount of growth as part of the overall revenue. Our business in Asia Pacific seems to be very strong. Some of our customers, most of our customers actually have given us a big thumbs up on the transition that we are taking from being just a monitoring company to an observability company. But that's as much as I can tell you about the business outlook as such.
Now, Bharat, it's been a great conversation. I enjoyed it thoroughly. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
Absolutely. So, like I said, so one of the things that I'd like our customers to know about is SolarWinds, when you think about it, it's not just a network monitoring company. It's gone into the full stack observability that is underpinned by our secure by design approach that we talked about in the beginning, which for us is about monitoring everything for the environment. We offer the best time to value, and we have understood over time that our customers care more about mean time to detect the issues and resolve the issues. So we have taken hints from that and have moved away from only creating alerts and events, but have now started telling the customers, this is how you should resolve, and this is how you should identify the issues. And next time, let's put AI and ML technologies and allow the tools to resolve and identify it on its own. So we are pretty excited to be on this journey, and we're looking forward to helping our customers with it.
Bharat, thank you very much for taking your time to be on the show.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Now, we've been speaking to Bharat Bedi. He's the Global Head of Strategic Alliances at SolarWinds. I'm Brian Fernandez, and you've been watching and listening to BizTech's C-Suite Conversation Show. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our social media platforms. It'll also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.